Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are doing our seventh annual social media predictions video. Isn't that wild?
That's pretty cool. We had to count.
Yeah, we had to count. We're like, wait, how many of these have we done?
So we did the first in 2018 going in like 2019 predictions.
Which is one of our first videos on the channel.
That's what I was thinking because we started December.
Yeah, it would be cool to watch that one. We should watch that back.
We should just for lols.
Our last video, I did watch it before this one. We slayed on our predictions. Pretty impressed. So like basically psychics here.
Basically.
So not as much psychics as in, again, we've been doing this for 10 years, but we also evaluate like the trends and see what's happening. We take data longer than 10 years, but our agency's been around for 10 years.
I know that's what you're referring to.
Yeah. We basically look at the trends, look at how things are moving, look at the data, and make social media predictions for what we think is going to go down, what will be popular in the upcoming year, and what may not be so popular in the upcoming year. So should we just dive into the first prediction?
I think we should.
Okay, well, a lot of people are not going to like to hear this one. But our first,
Lay it on them.
Our first social media prediction is that people will follow accounts less. Okay, this means for many business owners and creators, you will find it more difficult to grow from a follower perspective. So calls to action and incentivizing new audiences to follow you will be more important if increasing your number of followers is important to you. So if that's an important metric that you're after. Now let's explain why, okay? We'll explain what's happening and where this is coming from. So as social media users, we've been trained to not need to follow accounts when we see content we like anymore. And that's because the algorithms on these platforms like Instagram operate on an interest-based graph versus a follower graph. So once upon a time, following someone was the only way to guarantee you'd see content from them again. And we were encouraged to follow accounts to bring the kind of content we liked to our feed. That was the only way, right? So as the algorithm has become more sophisticated, it uses all the signals that we give it to understand our interests and feed us more of the content that we like. So the fact that we can like or comment or share or save or watch for a percentage of time all informs the algorithm, so we don't have to follow people to continue seeing what we like. And there's also just so much content to consume, which causes more passive consumption of related content, you know, like just fast scrolling as opposed to going in and looking at someone's profile, versus what it used to be more like, where it was like, oh, you had a blogger and you followed and you went through their feed. It's just such a different time. And you really like soaked up content from that person. So just start thinking about how you use the apps, right? And then you'll also notice what the user behaviors are like and can start, adjusting your strategy accordingly.
Yeah. So then does it mean it's impossible to grow
Definitely
on Instagram?
No.
Not at all, right?
Yeah.
So it just means you need to be more clear in giving your audience a reason to follow you. You're going to need to go the extra mile to build relationships, which is why getting conversations started in the DMs is beyond key. And also be more direct in asking your target audience to do what you want them to do, to give you that follow, just like you would want with any other important conversion like a sale. So a really great opportunity here is to leverage automation to help get that follow and to help get your products, your free resources, promo codes, or whatever else you're offering into the hands of your target audience. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you already know how we feel about ManyChat, our favorite Instagram automation tool and our partner for this video. Not only can ManyChat help you ramp up your engagement and get your audience into your DMs organically, they can help you grow your following.
At the end of the day, while we want to get all of our offers into the hands of our audience, it'd be much better if they followed you on Instagram too, right? So with ManyChat's request to follow feature, you can ensure that someone is following you before accessing your offer.
So say you get them into your DMs after they comment your keyword via ManyChat's automation, right? Now you can request that they follow you in order to receive the offer as an incentive, and ManyChat can actually verify that they're following before delivering the offer to your audience. It's a smooth, simple, and easily the most gentle way to help you grow your followers while seamlessly delivering value to your audience.
Yeah, it's also available on both desktop and mobile, so it's easy to set up wherever you are. And ManyChat is one of the few apps that are totally approved by Meta, so you'll never have any issues.
Nothing. Now, if you're ready to turn your Instagram commenters into followers, hit the link in the description and use the code HIGHSEASON to get 30 days of their pro Pro plan for free. And thanks again to ManyChat for partnering with us on this video.
The next social media prediction is that there will be a major shift in popular content. Now, so post 2020, we've all been on this insane trajectory and fast track of short form content and hopping on trends from dancing. Remember the dancing era? No judgment. We listen and we don't judge. We watch and we don't judge.
Relevant.
Okay. But there was the dancing, then there was the pointing, and then, of course, we have this like quick edits with the fast-paced B-roll and like the excessive sometimes B-roll that like totally doesn't match the video in ways. All this stuff, right? And everyone is just having to create content that looked a certain way to succeed in their category. But people are over it, okay? The content is tired. People are tired of making it and they're feeling more and more uninspired. And we think this will really show up in how content is created and shared, especially because of the rise of AI, which we'll talk about more later.
Yeah. Which leads us right to the next prediction. And that is that carousels will rise in popularity and be more important than ever, which is interesting. We've been talking about carousels a lot lately, to be fair. Now, for the last few years, the main focus, as we're just saying, across all social platforms has been short form video content, arguably thanks to TikTok around 2020-ish.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it kind of went nuts from there.
Yeah.
But as we're saying, a shift is happening. Now, we don't see carousels overtaking Reels as such, not yet, because overall user behavior still leans towards short form video on a larger scale. But as creators and business owners who just want to get good content out, but don't want to be their own mini video producers, carousels are easily the perfect medium.
Yeah.
And you've likely even noticed on your Explore feed that carousels are showing up way more, whereas before it felt like everything was just a reel.
Yeah.
So it's clear. And this data shows carousels get more engagement than Reels, which is really cool. And if your intention is to build more meaningful interactions with your audience, carousels should definitely be baked into your strategy. And we're already seeing people publishing more carousels and getting more creative with carousels and going beyond just a set of tips or photo dumps.
Which was one of our predictions actually for
Last
the year before, which was that we were going to see more carousels in terms of more mixed media, not just Reels, but carousels. And what we've seen now is actually that carousel engagement has gone up and Reels engagement is lower and reach is lower. So it's something to pay attention to in terms of how that trend is moving. But there's just more volume of because people love Reels. Yeah.
Arguably for now.
Yeah.
But that's not the prediction.
Yeah.
Go on record saying that for now. So what this could look like is better storytelling content. So like vlog style carousels or tip based content that works in more personal anecdotes like we were mentioning earlier, or a process driven carousel that takes the audience through a set of steps. And Instagram is making this easier because they've increased the reach potential on carousels by having them rank in the Reels tab if music is added, and by increasing the number of slides you can have in a carousel up to 20 from previously 10. We talked more about why you should start posting more carousels based on algorithm updates and how to easily create carousels in this video below or this one here. So no way to point.
It's in the description. And
just want to double check. So definitely recommend you check that out.
Another prediction when it comes to content is that top tip style content will become less popular. So when we say tip style content, that's the content like 3 ways to do X. So they've really taken over platforms over the last few years, especially Instagram and TikTok, and sharing that style of content consistently helped a ton of people grow. But now that ChatGPT can just spit out any tips on any topic, that style of content has become so overly saturated and commoditized that it has decreased the value of that style of content, especially as a way for people to get to want to follow you for more, since they can just get that information from anywhere if it's at a very high level. So let's talk about what that means for you going forward. Likely more humanized content that actually weaves in personal anecdotes and experiences surrounding a topic. So, for example, us saying like, here are 3 ways to grow on Instagram versus us saying, here's how our landscaper client grew by 800 followers in a month using Instagram profile ads. Do you see what's happening there? Or if we were to say 5 tips on how to increase your health in 2025, that's very high level. ChatGPT could do that. But if we said, here's how adding fermented foods to my diet improved my gut health and helped me sleep better. That's really tying in personal experiences that someone else can relate to, which will separate you from somebody else and definitely separate you from an AI bot or machine.
Big time.
Right? So this is actually a good thing because not only will the information be more targeted and helpful, it'll separate experts from just like impersonators who just say stuff, right? Which means you'll get more as even a user and consumer, you'll get more rich information and actionable advice that is good for everyone in the end.
The next prediction is that serialized content will become more popular. So tying back to what we mentioned about people needing a reason to follow earlier on, serialized content is one of the best ways to get people to follow you because you're creating a story with a cliffhanger that they need to continue watching to get the full picture. So of course, Netflix already proved that serialized content works and arguably like
better than anyone,
I guess. But I'm thinking television, what they call it, soap operas.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Netflix as a more modern context.
Yeah.
And this year, we really saw this take off on social. So like the best example is the Who the F Did I Marry? The TikTok
Great series.
Which is pretty crazy.
That was a good time.
That got like, I believe hundreds of millions of views across all the platforms. I think she put it on Instagram and YouTube and all of that stuff. But even more practically speaking, if you don't have a wild story to share, because most of us, nothing like
Thank
that.
goodness don't. Yeah.
I hope that lady's doing well, by the way. She killed it. Instead of like top tips that Tiff was just talking about, this looks like making a series of videos focused on one topic where you would have, say, 8 parts to be talking about one topic versus trying to do like a top 8 things in 60 seconds. So it makes it a lot easier. And this kind of content makes people want to come back. It taps into the habit that we have of consuming or binging series style content. And that is what Netflix did.
Yeah.
And it'll make you stand out more amongst your peers because it's not happening enough. But if you get on it earlier, you're definitely going to be standing out.
Now, moving on from content predictions, let's talk a little bit more about the platform. So something we really see happening this year, and it will continue on, is more creators and experts flocking to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, hey, YouTubers right here. YouTubers, stand up, say hello in the comment section.
Please do.
All right. So vanity metrics like having 100,000 followers on TikTok is not enough anymore. The creator economy is established and is projected to be worth some type of billion amounts. I'll put the number in here. We've hired over 400 creators in our agency's lifetime. We've been working with creators since 2016. So it's incredible to see how it's growing, but this is still only the beginning of where the potential is going to be. And these creators are really understanding their worth and are understanding that they need to be paid and paid well to make a full-time living.
Facts.
So brands though, and us who having hired for brands, we've long understood how valuable these creators have been for a long time. And we as creators ourselves have always been kind of on both sides of that conversation. But now we're seeing, and which makes us very happy, is that creators and experts are realizing they need to get paid for the value that they bring.
Yes.
And YouTube is without comparison the best platform for creators to be on from a revenue perspective. It's where the best online content lives, in our opinion. But actually, from like a global opinion too, YouTube has now surpassed Netflix as the most streamed platform and has the largest market share.
So from a business owner perspective, there are so many monetization opportunities on YouTube. And we are a great example of that, having created 5 revenue streams that are directly fed by YouTube. So AdSense, that's the actual cash you get from YouTube screening ads on your videos. We get brand partnerships, we get affiliate sales, consultation bookings, and also digital products, which is, so that's 5 alone from YouTube over and above all of our agency revenue streams. And it's
And that's
phenomenal.
not even speaking gigs too. And because some of that comes from YouTube as well, where people have seen us on YouTube and then they've reached out to us. Most of them do. Yeah.
It's like a brand building in and of itself.
Yeah. So that's 6 revenue streams.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this year we did the math, the actual percentage of our revenue was way higher. Like it was pretty close to 50%. This is so powerful. We're evangelists of this, and we won't go on, but
we have a video on why you should start a YouTube channel, and we talk about how to start it. We're gonna drop it below because like we'll just go on forever about it. So yeah,
we really will.
Yeah.
But also from a creator perspective, who rely on building a presence on platforms to make a living, they have valid concerns of relying on a platform like TikTok that, as of right now, currently faces being banned at any given point, and also making little money from platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, being in a very saturated platform with no barrier to entry and being frustrated with lowering views and engagement. YouTube has a ton of appeal in comparison. YouTube audiences are more valuable in that they're typically higher quality leads, because when you're investing your time in a YouTube video, which requires just more of your time and more of your attention, you're more serious about the creator or the topic, which is why brands pour so much into YouTube creators. Alex Hormozy recently did a really great video comparing social platforms, and it reinforced what we've already seen from our own data, which is that the traffic is higher and the leads are better from YouTube, and the lowest are platforms like TikTok.
Yeah, and we're already seeing like TikTok creators looking to drive their audience to YouTube, similar to actually what happened with Vine way back in the day, which bred this whole like new creator wave of like the Jake Pauls, Liza Koshis, all those people, David Dobrik, all that like first generation. I don't know, there's a generation before them, but you know, this like
kind
Vine.
of,
yeah, they really started, I feel like, that creator movement on here where monetization came with it. And that's because they weren't making enough money on Vine or any money on Vine. So they brought these massive audiences, which actually really transformed the YouTube industry as a whole, and it's happening again. So what's better for TikTok creators now, though, is that they're able to leverage their existing content directly through YouTube Shorts, which that was not an option back in the day. So now you can grow even faster and get monetized quicker if, as a creator, you already have like a viral framework on TikTok. Likely, if it worked on TikTok, it'll work on YouTube Shorts too. We're also seeing streamers from Twitch. So that's what I'm saying. We're paying attention everywhere.
This is fascinating.
We're also seeing streamers from Twitch look to start multi-streaming on YouTube, as some of them are ending their Twitch contracts or just want to expand their monetization opportunities further. And there was a very large Twitch streamer. Sometimes he's controversial, so I won't even say his name.
Say the name now.
So, but he's a really large Twitch, because Twitch streamers, they have things going on sometimes.
They're a bit.
So he's really big, and he mentioned recently, like, and actually showcased how much money he made compared to YouTube versus Twitch. So when he was looking at his video on demand, so when you think about YouTube and Twitch, you're streaming and you can stream simultaneously, right? So when he looked at his data, I'm going to just say like high level numbers, but for example, a video on demand on YouTube that he had that is the same video that was on Twitch was making over $80,000 for that YouTube video versus $11K for the Twitch stream. And that's just because YouTube, once you even just publish to YouTube, it just keeps going, right? It keeps getting served, where Twitch doesn't have the same type of content serving and distribution like YouTube does. So he was really emphasizing to other creators that they really need to begin multi-streaming, which means making sure that you stream across multiple platforms. That can also go to Facebook as well. So that's something to consider. So again, YouTube, it's a wonderful place to get paid as an expert, owner, or creator, period.
And a quick follow-up to that point, the next prediction is that there will be a rise in founder-led content. So business owners will work to build their own personal brands a lot more to drive leads to their company, taking the signal from influencers or creators who start companies this way and who have seen massive success. So for example, Mr. Beast with multiple products, Jackie Aina with the Forever Mood candles, Logan Paul with
everything.
Prime, and I was about to say everything, but yeah, a bunch of stuff. And in an AI world, connection will always matter most. And who best to be at the forefront and build community around it than the creator of the brand? It's very cool. It's definitely going to be the way. We're already seeing more of that with the very large ones, but it feels like the smaller folks are coming out and the founders are realizing the importance of it and investing their time into creating this content and delivering real value.
I want to pop up, or at least I'll just try to pop up the channel here, but Treehouse, like, I love how their founder makes content now, like talking to you about like just actually like cool beer topics. So basically they just do.
You say Treehouse is
so Treehouse is a brewery in Boston, in Massachusetts. And in their founder now, though, as like the owner, is making content that is just like YouTube content in general, but then also works in their products. So some are product specific, but some are like how to do X, or you know, like how to pour this way, things like that, which are just general topics people could look up that will then bring them to the company. So I love that they're doing that too and making him like the face in that way.
And that's already like the highest. There's a beer check-in app, and on that app, they're the highest rated in the continent.
Okay.
So like maybe the world. So they're already like a sought after brand.
Yeah.
So they don't technically have to do this.
Yeah.
But they've chosen to, which I think speaks more to the importance of it.
Yeah. It'd be like Joe if he was the head of Trader Joe's, do you know? But there isn't a Joe, right?
No, I think there was. I listened to the podcast back in the day, but I don't believe he's around. And I don't know if his name was Joe.
Okay.
I forget.
We should find that out, but we're just one of the best grocery stores on earth.
TJ's.
Yeah.
All day.
The next social media prediction is more AI everywhere. You knew this one was coming, all right? AI is full speed ahead, and it will continue to advance and be further integrated into different parts of the social media experience, from content creation to the way we communicate with each other, to the way we search online, to the machine learning behind the algorithms that power these social media apps. You are already using AI, even if you're not actively trying to use AI. So this year we saw a real increase in AI integration across all the social media apps. We had the introduction of Meta AI, their version of ChatGPT that's built right into their app. It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on WhatsApp. They introduced the chatbots like Creator AI, which is basically supposed to let creators clone themselves and interact, which, you know, we all have thoughts about, you know, but we're just talking about what's coming, not what that means for society. So, you know, we also saw AI in the Instagram DMs, because now you can rewrite your responses with AI. YouTube has added AI summaries to videos, which I don't know if I love, because it kind of spoils the video in a way.
Yeah.
When you want people to watch it, but then now there's like a summary that comes with it. We'll see. Then there's also like AI responses in general. Like if you're in the community tab, if you're a YouTuber and you go and reply to comments, they have these like AI responses in the back end.
It can be good, but it's a little impersonal.
It's taking so again, we'll reserve our thoughts for like maybe a future podcast or something like that about what this means. But generally, it's coming everywhere. LinkedIn has AI prompts. It's everywhere. It's not slowing down. And Meta actually proudly stated recently in one of their earnings calls that they're going to be spending billions for a significant acceleration in infrastructure expense growth directed towards AI development. AI has already been making them a ton more money because advertisers are seeing a lot of success with better performing ads due to those advancements in AI. So of course, anything that drives further revenue for Meta, they're obviously going to invest more in. So again, when we say advertisers, that's any business owner or marketer or anybody who's running ads in the Meta Ads platform.
Yes. And then what does it mean for you? So of course, it's important to stay on top of these updates and opportunities to leverage AI to make life easier. And if you don't know where to start, we actually have a free guide on how to use ChatGPT for content planning and creation available in the description below. We believe that in 2025, we'll see business owners and creators who either want to stand out or want to maximize efficiency really lean on AI to create content, to manage their social and automate engagement. And we encourage you to take advantage of AI and automation to help you work more efficiently. But we want to emphasize that AI should only assist you. It shouldn't replace you or be the driver of your content, because social media will forever be human first and about meaningful connections between humans and enjoying the creativity of humans. The last thing we want is robots making content for other robots. It's so weird.
It can get weird if you're not careful.
And we just really have to be careful, exactly right, to make sure that we honor that and that we stick to that, because, you know, this is, if all these companies are investing in it and you kind of, all the power gets taken out of people's hands so much where nobody wants to do anything anymore. Not even power, but you're relinquishing it. You're just like, I don't want to write captions. I don't want to make content. I don't want to respond to things. So what are you doing?
What's the point?
The whole thing is wild. So it's going to be very interesting.
And now let's go with some quick hits that don't need as much of a deep dive. First things first, we do not see TikTok being banned.
Capitalism.
Too much money in that for people. And I think they'll find their way. They're already working really, really hard to make sure that they can stick around. And I think they'll find a way. And because of the changing of the guards in the United States in general, we'll likely see that the original, agreement that was signed to try to get that banned is likely not going to happen now. So you're probably fine. But if you are somebody who's using TikTok as a primary platform, please let this be your signal to pay attention and diversify your platforms ASAP. Because you do not want to rely on one. Grow your email list and diversify your platforms.
100%. There will be community integration into YouTube and Meta apps. YouTube specifically is expanding the community tab, and Meta has increased interactivity in broadcast channels already. So we see that going further, because the one thing, particularly with YouTube,
and our membership channel for sure too.
Well, I don't know if we've spoken about it here. Maybe not. So. But the only frustrating thing is the lack of two-way communication. It's like essentially the community tab is a broadcast channel and it's cool.
You can comment on the post, but there needs to be more.
And just ways to communicate.
Facebook groups. Technically, if it's over for everybody if YouTube brings like a Facebook group style interactivity into their community tab. For sure.
Whether that's for members only or for just general community tabs. I imagine they could start rolling it out for members, because that's like they love that for creators who have a membership like we do. So that would be the one thing, is just getting in touch with everybody, letting them know when the lives are. You know, we've got most of their emails, but not all of them. And it's just, it's a little impersonal. So I think they're going to push that forward.
Yeah. And another prediction is that X will stay relevant among its technical user base that it has right now, which is like, we don't really know how to categorize it, but we could say like a bro user base. That's the, you know, the Elon fans. And again, no judgment being passed. We listen, we don't judge, you know, at the time of this video. But like, it's definitely like narrowing down to a type of user. And again, that's going to mean that it's going to halt its growth, right? So it's very unlikely that we're going to see significant growth in that area, unless X ends up merging with another app that also has a similar audience, which would be pretty smart for them to do. Definitely think Threads and Blue Sky have like put that permanent dent into the potential user base, globally speaking, with X, and I don't think that's something that they'll recover from.
Another one, more in-app purchasing programs and AI-enhanced shopping are going to be launched for platforms like TikTok and Pinterest, of course. Pinterest, for sure, really positions itself as a discovery platform more than a social platform. And their audience are high intent purchases, if you just think about what Pinterest is. So they'll continue to lean in here. And if you have an e-commerce business, especially targeted at women, you have no choice but to be on Pinterest. It's the greatest.
And then in short, because we spoke about this at length last time and it did come true, which was just that we were going to see exponential growth for Threads, which we did see. We also said analytics would come to Threads, which they did as well. We also predicted ads, but that didn't happen, but that's going to happen for sure in 2025. They're only going to let us all use apps for free for so long. So that's definitely, we're predicting that ads will come to Threads for sure in 2025, probably in the first half, honestly.
I'm with that, 100%. And then long form content. Long form is going to rule. So YouTube is the most popular streaming platform, and the vast majority of things on there are, of course, long form videos. They did introduce shorts, as we all know, but still the long form are dominating. TikTok have already introduced longer content. Long form is really where it's going. There's, as we spoke about before, there's more monetization opportunities on longer form content. And I think, as you were also describing, people doing the trends and doing the same thing over the dancing and pointing and all that stuff, it's become passe. It's become like you're over it.
Scroll through it.
You just keep scrolling. So the only thing now is it's like the pendulum swinging back to long form.
Exactly, as it always does.
You know, get used to it.
Exactly. And then another part on that is also text-based content thriving. The reason I'm saying in addition to that is because it's longer form things happening, where I think there might be a move towards substance, which is a beautiful thing for the world in general. Because we've been really caught in this very like short instant gratification, fast thing.
For a long time.
I think some people are looking for, again, deeper connections, more meaningful, tailored content and information. They need a little bit of depth, and long form is where you go to get something like that. So we're really seeing like text-based content do really well, and we think that'll continue. So you see that a lot on LinkedIn, but also like with platforms like Substack really is making a move here. It used to be kind of more fringe is the best way to say it, and now you see more creators, all creators of all kind using it. It's a great way to build your personal brand and get directly in front of your target audience, right in their inbox, again, and monetize. So it has all the essentials that we're saying that creators need. And even speaking about LinkedIn, that's not something we talked about before this video, but I think it's just worth mentioning. Obviously, LinkedIn is going to be the place to be if you're a career professional or if you're looking to build your personal brand. LinkedIn is really going to be important here. It was predicted in our last video that we were going to see a really increase on the platform, so platform usage in general and content, and we did see that, and I think that's just going to continue on for sure.
Agreed.
All right, those are our social media predictions for 2025. Let us know what you think. What do you think is going to come true? What do you think we missed that you've been thinking of too?
Please,
what trends are you seeing? Drop it in the comments. Would love to talk to you about it. We want to thank ManyChat, our partner who we adore. You guys know we talk about ManyChat all the time. Please, in 2025, add this to your social strategy. It has been such a help to us and to our clients as well. In the membership channel, we're really going to have to do some deeper dives into some of the funnels that we built, because it's incredible the work that it's been able to do. And we're so happy with the results we get to deliver people because of ManyChat. So definitely check that out. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. We want to say Happy New Year to you, because if you're watching this, it's either in the new year or we're coming up on the new year. We love you guys so much.
Yes.
Love this channel. As we mentioned, love YouTube, love this community. We are rooting for you guys so much. We hope that if you're even making it to this end, that means you really, really are serious about what you're doing. And we really, really hope that you get the fruits of your labor, especially in 2025. So sending you lots of love, rooting for you always. Check out this video if you want to continue educating yourself over the holiday or into the new year and beyond. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays.